Welcome back. Come on in. So I saw the video title. The only reason I'm here is it autoplayed and I couldn't cancel it fast enough. But listen, I'm an accountant. I've got a lot to do, and I have no interest in marketing. You got something on your, yeah. Hey, I'm no more a marketer than the next accountant, and I'll preface this whole thing with that. But you know what you do spend a lot of time on? Email. And the use cases for email marketing tools go well beyond marketing. Foreshadowing. So without further ado, 5 ways accountants can leverage email marketing apps. To the telestrator. This one is so powerful and it makes you realize these tools work for way more than just marketing. So almost all of your email marketing tools today let you build like conditional logic. You can set up like entire email journeys, follow-up emails, all in response to how a recipient interacts or doesn't interact with the email. If they open it, do this. If they click that, do this. Here's ConvertKit, for example. You can build entire email journeys based on conditional logic. You've got events, actions, conditions. It's like Zapier had a baby with email. And where this becomes super useful is those few times a year when you send that mass email out to all of your clients. This could be to kick off like tax prep. But an example I shared on Twitter last year was how to use this to kick off tax planning. So I've got this whole thing set up in Miro. So let's take a look. You can build logic around this sending of emails like we just looked at, but you can actually take that logic as far as how the email itself is built out. So building the email. Got your salutation, merge in the taxpayer and spouse name, hello person 1, person 2, couple boilerplate sentences, reaching out to see if we could do a bit of tax planning. Now, if they owed greater than X amount of tax last year, we're gonna add this statement. You owed a decent amount of tax this year with tax planning, we can get out ahead of it. If we did tax planning last year, this was helpful last year to take the guesswork out of blah, blah, blah. If they had an underpayment penalty greater than 50 bucks, in 2019 you had avoidable underpayment penalties of X. If late payment penalties are greater than 50, you had avoidable late payment penalties of Y. And that's all built dynamically based on the data you've merged into your email marketing tool. So that was the first paragraph of the email. Now we're gonna drop in a GIF of an actual video where they can learn more. If they had no tax planning in the prior year, they're gonna get a link to a 2-minute Loom explaining the benefits of tax planning. If they owed greater than a certain amount, they get a video explaining the cost of not doing tax planning. And then the fallback is a general 2-minuter about avoiding penalties and anxiety and all that through tax planning. Then everybody gets this bullet list. A link to schedule a 15-minute meeting on Calendly, link to an engagement letter proposal, a short type form for collecting some intake stuff, and a share file upload link. Now you could send this to 10 people, you could send it to 2,000 people, and it's gonna feel highly personalized, right? You could even make it look crotchety, like a vanilla old email. It doesn't have to be like a fancy marketing email. In fact, crotchety email is probably gonna convert better. So you've got highly contextual emails that are optimized based on that person's specific to them circumstances, but that's just where the fun gets started. So follow-up logic. We can do different things based on whether or not they opened it. So if they haven't opened it in 2 weeks, send an automated email reminder. If not open for another week, admin's gonna give them a jingle saying, hey, we reached out about tax planning and didn't hear back. What would be the best email to send you some more info? Notice we didn't say, hey, and we noticed you didn't open the last 2 we sent you. Don't say that, that's weird. Think of all the contexts in which it would be nice to know if they actually read that email or not. Is that a good thing? I don't know. But if they did open it, some more automations we can build based on the activities they've done, like have they scheduled a Calendly appointment yet? Have they uploaded any files? So if they've done none of these things, then I wanna see, have they even clicked the Calendly link? If they did, oh, they're close. In which case, I'll probably just give them a call. If they didn't, we'll build a follow-up email. It's gonna be a similar email to the first, and if they didn't click on that Loom link, we're gonna give them a little explainer to warm them up a little further. If only 1 or more of those are completed, we're gonna build up a follow-up email based on the things they have done and the things that they haven't done. And you know what's neat about that? Everything. Because a warm, squishy human being didn't have to do it. How about one-to-many notifications? We learned during COVID that one-to-many communications is the way to get the word out and avoid a whole heap of one-to-one conversations. If there's something you need your entire client base to hear, unless you proactively do a one-to-many email blast, you can have the same one-to-one conversation with every client. And this is not fun, my friends. Now, do you need an email marketing tool to do this? No, but the upside of using your email marketing tool for this is you can make those emails more contextual. As you saw in that last example, you can load in data for each of your subscribers to build that email conditionally, like a tag for whether they're a business owner. To include that paragraph, you would only share with business owners. When Steve calls to ask you about the thing you just outlined in that email, you can also see if Steve opened the email and scold him accordingly. Last, you can build branching logic on how the reader interacted with that email. if it was clear someone was very interested in some notes you had about, say, tax planning. They click through that bit, or about changing tax law. You can automate a follow-on message with more resources about that specific topic. And just like that, you're scratching an itch for a person without having to lift a finger. That's gross. No. Most firms today, if they're leveraging an email marketing tool, it's to reach all of their clients. But it doesn't need to stop there. An email list is a great way to start warming some leads. Those people who are just outside your circle. Not a client yet, but they're interested. In fact, this is the way most normal companies use email lists. 80% of the people on that list aren't actually customers yet. But because we're weird, we do the opposite. 80% are already customers, and the remaining 20% are the randos that are clients added to the list. When software companies put on those events, those webinars, those cocktail hours at conferences, they're doing it for the email addresses. That's their takeaway. That's why you see 8 different companies on that event roster. Each of them gets copied that email list. That's why they're doing it. Now, the last time you went out and spoke somewhere, did you ask for an email list? Probably not. You hoped somebody would walk up afterwards and here's my business card. Don't do that. Stop doing that. You're better than that. Don't do that. So the next time you go somewhere, get the email list. It's one thing to stand in front of those people and talk to them, but unless you seal the deal in the room, they're gonna forget about you. When you get those emails, put them on that master list. They're not tagged as a client, but they're getting those monthly reminders of just how smart you are. So think beyond your current client list and use those additional emails to start warming some leads who aren't yet clients. Loads of people visit your site each month, and you're never gonna hear from them. You'll never know who they are. And that's why these pop-ups to join your newsletter have become popular. At their worst, they're super annoying. Now, the right way to do this is including something of value in that pop-up. I've seen Ryan Lozanis do this well on his site. The pop-up doesn't just say, give me your email address. It says, download this ebook, 7 tactics for your accounting firm to stay competitive this year. That I want. I don't just want to give you my email. To get the ebook, I have to give you my email. But that's an example of, hey, here's something of value you may be interested in, which is infinitely better than a self-serving, hey, just give me your email address. Now, what are the hot things right now that are front of mind for the people visiting your site? Changing tax laws? How about 7 ways changing tax law can impact your business? The more specific this can be to the type of client you want to attract, the better. So if you want dentists, 7 ways changes in tax law can impact dentists. Taxidermists, lion tamers, whatever it is, make it specific. And before you know it, you'll have captured a bunch more email addresses, and they're gonna benefit from your content that you're already building. Just one more person on the list. Now, this is a combination of several things we've touched on, and the most powerful way to build credibility with potential clients. When you capture those email signups, the more context you can capture about them, the better. Let's say you're targeting veterinarians. Let's generalize vets into 4 buckets. A vet who's an employee for someone else, a vet working on contract, a vet who's opening their new clinic, and a vet who's already operating a clinic. You may want to focus on vets, but within that niche, there's a bunch of different types of vets, right? If you can capture this data on sign up via your pop-up or sign up form, you can get them really helpful targeted information. So let's go back to that page we were looking at on ConvertKit. Runs through how their automations work. Now, what you're looking at here is what's called a drip campaign. And you can think of it as a journey of emails that are highly contextual. What are the things those people are feeling if they're a contractor, if they're an employee, a new clinic operator? Design a journey that's gonna be hyper relevant to them. If that person is an employee for somebody else, they aren't concerned with how to attract employees or how to set up a payroll system. Now, this is the reason why when you sign up for a webinar, you get those questions about what your role is in the firm, how many employees the firm has. It enables a much more targeted set of follow-up emails. And these campaigns are something that are really cool that you can craft over time. Maybe these journeys start with just a single email, but over time, you can repurpose the content you're already building for those specific journeys. Then when you add a second email to that specific journey, the folks who are already on that list, they get the new email. And future people who sign up will now get 2 emails staged over weeks or months. Over time, once you've built out these journeys to 10 or 20 emails, that person knows you really well by the time they convert to a client. Pretty cool, right? Once you set all this up, this is happening automatically without your intervention, and it's just up to you to find new ways to pull people into those journeys. Could be speaking in person, could be assets on your site, but through no added effort from you, they're learning. They're getting value in a totally automated way. Now, have you found a novel way to use these apps? Drop a comment below that like button. I'll point you to a video that pairs really nicely with this one, how to automate your discovery meetings for that lead you warmed up with your email journey. Until next time.